From the WUFT newsroom, I'm Hannah Runge. Taxi and limousine services in Florida are asking Uber to be held responsible for the same safety requirements as their companies. As of right now, there is no guarantee that an Uber ride will be safe. Officials with Uber say they're more of a technology company than a cab company, so they shouldn't have the same regulations. From the WUFT newsroom, I'm Hannah Runge. President Barack Obama used Earth Day to warn that climate change is causing damage to the nation's environmental treasures. He spoke after touring the Runge Trail in Everglades National Park Wednesday and says the Everglades are a prime example of the dangers caused by climate change. Obama says rising sea levels threaten South Florida aquifers, and he asked that Congress provide money for land and water protection funds. He says action on climate change can no longer be delayed, and it's time for politics to address the issue. From the WUFT newsroom, I'm Hannah Runge. High Springs residents were invited to the first Coffee with the Chief. The event gives residents a chance to get to know High Springs Police Chief Jack Antario. WFT's Augustina Boida was at the event this morning. Antario started Coffee with the Chief to give residents a chance to voice their concerns, big or small. From the WUFT newsroom, I'm Hannah Runge. 2 people are being charged with armed robbery, aggravated assault, and other possible penalties after a high-speed chase on University of Florida's campus. Alerts were sent out around 1 this morning after a man with a handgun approached 2 UF students who ran and called police. An hour later, police were notified of an armed robbery initiated by a suspect matching the description provided by the students earlier. The suspects crashed their car on campus, and the woman driving the car, Caitlin Smith, was caught and taken into custody, but the man, Jared Williams, fled. Police set up a perimeter around Lake Alice where Williams was caught within the hour by GPD K-9 officers. The Wings of Dreams Aviation Museum, located at the Keystone Heights Airport, houses an array of American artifacts from World War II all the way to the last NASA manned spaceflight. Executive Director of Wings of Dreams, Captain Bob Ohl, and his partner Susan King began collecting aviation and space artifacts in 2005 to honor what he calls the greatest generation. Ohl calls the manned moon landings the greatest achievement of mankind, and he's proud to say he's saved and preserved a lot of that history.
Nose gear touchdown.
The U.S. Space Shuttle program brought back its 33rd and last space shuttle, Atlantis, on July 20th, 2011.
Wrapping up a 4,490,138-mile flight to the International Space Station.
Ohl is not happy about farming out all space technology and resources to other countries like Russia. Hannah Runge, WUFT News. The school bell rings and Esau students at Gainesville High School file into Miss Yarif's classroom, room 23011. Miss Yarif uses couches to replace metal desks and chairs, and Shirley, after teaching Esau students at Gainesville High School for 23 years, her classroom looks lived in. Creating a homey atmosphere extends beyond the classroom. 20 years ago, Miss Yarif noticed that most of her Esau students and their families moved to the United States with very little. So her and her husband Yossi started the Esau Closet with just one donation, a couch. Hannah Runge, WUFT News. High Springs Orchard and Bakery owner Jenny Franklin grows 2 kinds of blueberries on her orchard, Southern Highbush and Rabbit Eye. Franklin says growing blueberries is quite easy. The most energy she exerts in growing her blueberries is maintaining weeds and fighting off unwanted pests. Tucked behind rows of blueberry bushes is the orchard's bakery that was added to the orchard in 2000. In 1996, Franklin and her husband purchased 28 acres of land in the quiet country town of High Springs, Florida. Almost 2 decades later, they grow hundreds of certified organic persimmon, chestnut, and Asian pear trees, a variety of muscadine grapes, and blueberries. Hannah Runge, WUFT News.